It's May 1st, Labor Day here in most of Europe. And let's talk about the artisan guilds in Florence and why I think Labor Day is the perfect reason to celebrate them. My name is Cassandra. I am a designer in Florence. I have my own brand, Upcycled luxury leather goods handcrafted here in Florence. Welcome to our brand page. And I also co-founded the first leather upcycling and sustainable design center in all of Italy. It's called Zero Lab. Come find us and check us out. And I get this question a lot of why did I come to Florence? Because when I was a designer in New York, I actually never came to Florence for work. I always went to Milan. And when I first moved here, I thought I would move to Milan. I ended up moving to Florence because that's where the leather industry was, but also because my heart was really attracted to Florence. And that's because after living here for almost 9 years, I've realized that Florence is really the manifestation of what a city can look like when you prioritize art and design and supporting artisans and designers at a bureaucratic government level. And that's where the artisan guilds come in. There is a reason that if you look through history in Italy, other regions like Milan, like Venice, like Naples had kings. Tuscany and Florence never really had a king. You could argue that the Medici family was the ruling family from, I think, around like the 1400s to the 1700s. But they were technically a merchant class family. They were from the banking guild. They were from the banking not artisan guild, but the banking guild. The first tanneries in Florence, the first commercial tanneries were opened in the 1200s. So Florence was always a commercial hub of Europe. And because of that, it made a merchant class very wealthy. And when people are wealthy and they have some power, they are a lot slower and less likely to let one noble family come in, congregate power, and rule over all of them. And the artisan guilds were governing bodies. The silk guild, the wool guild, the leather guild, the goldsmith guild, the banking guild. So not all of them were completely artisan craft, but they were all governing bodies that oversaw their industries, providing apprenticeship programs, providing rules and laws for how people entered those industries and protected workers within those industries, what we would recognize today as pension programs. This was at a time when like workers' safety, labor rights, pension programs, not a thing people were talking about, not a thing that really existed. And giving people like a really clear path for how they become a master artisan in that field, how much money they can ask for the work that they're doing. And that is what created Florence. When you walk down the streets of Florence, you will see streets named Via Calzaiolo. Via Calzaiolo literally translates to shoemaker street. And traditionally it was where a lot of shoemakers were based. I mean, now it's like Sephora and Venki, but in the past, just imagine like one shoemaker after another. It's so cool. When we talk about the Renaissance, we talk about Renaissance art and architecture and the Duomo and the Uffizi Gallery. But to me, the Renaissance is really a celebration of the artisan guilds and a world in which we are systematically supporting artisans and designers at a government and bureaucratic level. And we are providing protections, labor rights, safe working conditions, pay floors, all of that to artisans and designers and paying them what they are worth and valuing their work in society. Not just as an extra when you have a lot of money to make something, but as a fundamental part of living in a beautiful place, because no matter how much money you make, we all deserve to live and be surrounded by beauty and by the majesty of like what humans can create when they are supported in this way. I know this video is long, but I would be remiss if on May 1st, I did not mention my own appreciation for the artisan guilds in the city that I live in. If you don't know anything about them, check them out because they are truly an unbelievable part of Italian and Florentine history that still has deep roots and exists today. Ciao from Firenze and happy May 1st.